Hello again, I am Blunty, and thanks to one of the biggest and longest serving names in 3D printers, I've got a bunch of interesting Nintendo Switch 2 accessory testing coming up at launch, and not just 3D printed stuff either. I've got a box full of off-the-shelf stuff to look at too, so you're gonna want to make sure that subscribe button is tapped and the bell is rang to keep tabs on all of it if you are even slightly interested in the Nintendo Switch 2. Today though, kind of a bit of unplanned content if I'm honest with you. The printer Prusa sent me to check out one of their fancy new Core One models arrived late yesterday afternoon, and I got busy immediately testing it because I'm very excited about it all. And on today's Twitch live stream, I was printing out some Switch 2 Joycon Mouse shells as we gamed. Also, side note, how happy am I that this printer is quiet enough to run as I'm streaming. It's running right now as I'm recording this. Can you hear it in the background? Anyway, what you're about to see is my first impression of these Switch 2 Joycon Mouse shell accessories to enhance the mouse mode functionality, the feel, the ergonomics of it. And I didn't plan on chewing this up into a YouTube video, we were just sort of chewing the fat on stream, but the first impression that I got from them, well, it was enough to warrant this tease for the full-on reviews and whatnot that are coming up here on YouTube, so yeah, enjoy. And if you do have any specific requests for the kind of accessories you want to see tested out for me to hunt down or whatever for the Switch 2, please feel free to leave that in the down below too. Over to you, pre-recorded live Blunty. There it is. Print is finished. Yeah, there we are. 2 left, 2 right in 2 different sizes. Switch 2 Joycon mouse shell thingies. Right off that build plate too. Just pops right off. Oh. I don't know where I can catch this on camera. There we go. The designer of these put their logo on the little sole of it there. Hadn't even noticed that. It's on all of them. That's a nice little way to stamp your work. So, where's the right-handed one? There it is. I think that's the right-handed big one. Right-handed smaller one. My right Joy-Con dummy snaps right in there. Friction fits good. Oh, camera died. Why did my camera die? God damn it. That was kind of important. That's super cool. Alright, give me a sec. Oh, and we're back. Right, as I was saying, as I was trying to demonstrate, yeah, it still doesn't feel like a regular mouse because it's all much taller on this side. The way that curve sits to support the rest of your fingers there. Also, it's deeper than a regular mouse too, so this still digs into the palm a bit more than you would expect from a regular mouse. But I mean, on a surface, if you're just sort of doing a light claw grip, it still feels pretty good. Still feels pretty good. It slides well too. Like that surface I'm getting from the Prusa. It's a really slick surface. Wasn't expecting it to move quite that well. I mean, it's actually, it might even have slightly less friction than this. Funnily enough. No, doesn't quite move as far when you give it a little nudge. Still surprisingly smooth though, the way it just moves across the mouse surface. I do use a hard mouse mat, like a plastic, whatever material that's made out of, some sort of plastic. And it, yeah, slides really nicely on that. Yeah, I think we're onto something there. I'll have to wait till I get the actual Joy-Con 2s to see what that friction feels like, because I just don't know how close these scans are. Actually, you know what? The skinnier one, even though it doesn't support the fingers the same way because of the way they rest, it's actually surprisingly comfortable too. That might be the more comfortable one, because then you could still Joy-Con mode it pretty easily, whereas the bigger swoopy one, if you have to pick up, go Joy-Con mode, Yeah, not quite as good. Fun. Yeah, these Joycon 2 dummies, they're actually kind of a dodgy 3D scan. Like you look at the original file and you can see the weird fuzziness of the original scan. So they're not perfect. They should be pretty close to the right shape. And definitely the right size. And yeah, these, like even on their own, just because they're so much bigger than the original Joy-Cons. So if you've grabbed one of the original Joy-Cons and tried to see what it would feel like as a mouse, yeah, it's really different. Just on even all time. I mean, you're still prone to rocking off to the side, which is where this stuff comes in. But yeah, like you can get a sense for how people are saying, yeah, it's actually surprisingly good. And of course, I don't have the foot that would ordinarily come with for the mouse mode, which gives you slightly more surface area underneath it. But yeah, just the Joy-Con on its own, it really fits so much better in my hand than the original Joy-Cons do. I do have a slightly better quality version of this print as well. I had to print it in 2 halves, split down the middle so I could glue it together because, yeah, the way this thing had to print, just because so they can't get it flat on the print bed, it's kind of the low quality of the original 3D scan, lowish quality, and the way you had to print this, yeah, it's not a very good quality print, but glue the other 2 together and see how that feels. But yeah, these mouse shells, I think we're onto something here. Interested in seeing what kind of full mouse shells come out from companies. Yeah, I do have a full mouse shell that I am printing, which this is the foot for. I haven't printed the top shell part yet because I want to print that in black and have the I wanted to print the sole of it in the red and have the black on top just so it looked cool. I also printed out the button pass-throughs in red as well. But yeah, I'm also printing out a full shell version that more closely resembles a mouse when it's assembled. But yeah, like I said, I haven't printed the top part of that yet. I'll be doing that next because I installed the black thread in for that. Yeah, even that, the way this is printed, with all these little really thin fins, perfectly straight and solid and bonded. That Prusa is so far ahead of the last time I touched a 3D printer. Like the 3D printer I had 8 years ago would never be able to do this. Hold on your life. Yeah, I think this is a really interesting solution. Feels better than I expected it to. Like I expected them to feel pretty decent, but yeah, surprisingly enough, I think I prefer the skinnier one too, just on first impressions with my little dummy. Even though it doesn't have as much support for the other fingers, just, yeah, the way it feels when you lift it up again, if you ever need to do the Joy-Con mode stuff. Can hardly wait to get the real thing to try it out. I've got a couple of other alternatives to print up yet. There are slightly different shapes and sizes and swoopy designs and stuff. We'll find out what feels the most comfortable, do with comparisons. Yeah, first impressions. First impressions are strong.